In the pace of modern life, you may have asked yourself, why is it that, even on seemingly abundant days, I still feel empty or lost? Many women today have become independent and strong, capable of taking care of themselves and their loved ones. Yet, somewhere deep inside, persistent waves of fatigue and unnamed voids persist. You are strong and kind, but you have lost your connection to your intuition and your purest joy in living. Carl Jung, the pioneer who explored the labyrinth of the soul, believed that the root of this emptiness is the inner child that has been forgotten. She is the innocent, vibrant little girl who was wounded by expectations and judgments. When that little girl is left in the darkness of the subconscious, your true feminine energy is also imprisoned, replaced by forced strength and exhaustion. The truth is, as long as that wound remains unhealed, you will always be searching for validation from the outside instead of enjoying your own inner power. Feminine essence does not lie in striving for perfection, but in the freedom that comes when you dare to face, embrace, and soothe the most vulnerable parts of your soul. In this video, we will delve into the journey of healing your inner girl to release your primal feminine energy, according to Carl Jung's philosophy. I will share 9 key steps to help you reconnect with your intuition and natural gentleness. Especially, pay attention to the final part, because that is the key that will help you transform from merely longing to be loved into truly living in your most radiant way. Number 1. Why healing your inner girl is the key for you to soften and embrace your feminine side. According to Jung, have you ever sat in the middle of a crowded party and felt lost inside? Or even after achieving social success, do you still sense a nameless exhaustion and emptiness within? Have you ever wondered, why do I always have to be strong, to shoulder everything on my own, when deep down, I just want someone to reach out, hold me, and say, everything will be okay? If you've ever felt hurt from being ignored, or been startled by your own tears because of a thoughtless remark, then perhaps the little girl inside you is still silently waiting to be healed. I remember Rose, a close friend of mine. In her 30s, Rose is the kind of woman everyone admires. Accomplished, independent, capable, always cheerful among friends. But in those moments when it's just the two of us, Rose often sighs and says, I can't remember the last time I dared to lean on anyone. It feels like I'm only allowed to be the strong one, the one others rely on. Sometimes, I just want to be small, to have someone hold and protect me, but there's never anyone. And I don't dare to ask for it. Hearing Rose, I realized her story isn't unfamiliar to many adult women, especially in modern society, where we're taught to always be independent, always strong, always fine. But the truth is, inside every woman is a little girl, the part that once deeply needed to be held, listened to, protected, to be soothed, once innocent, quick to cry or laugh, easily hurt. That's you at 5, at 10, running home in tears after being teased by friends, waiting for your mother to comfort you after a bad grade, when just a hug was enough to erase a tiring day. That little girl is still there, inside you, except, as you grew up, you learned how to suppress, to toughen up, to get through things on your own. You started putting on suits of armor. You must be rational, resilient, never weak, never needy. The painful thing is, when the inner girl is abandoned, when your needs to be heard, loved, recognized are ignored, criticized, controlled, or compared, she doesn't disappear. She only learns to change roles. Sometimes, you become clingy in relationships, afraid of being abandoned, always wanting to please others just to receive affection. Sometimes you take the opposite path, acting strong, telling yourself, I don't need anyone, pretending to be fine, even when you're lonely inside. These responses turn into habits, silently shaping your feelings, your actions, and even how you perceive your own worth. Carl Jung called this a psychological process that he summarized with one rule. The psychological rule says that when an inner situation is not made conscious, it happens outside as fate. This means that when an inner situation is not recognized, it will play out in real life as part of destiny. Maybe you unconsciously seek validation from your boss, your lover, your friends, repeating the sense of not being heard, not good enough, not safe. Maybe you keep ending up in relationships where you have to toughen up and endure, always playing the strong one, eventually burning out without realizing it. It's not because you're weak, and it's not cruel fate. It's because your inner girl has never been heard, never been healed. Jung emphasizes, you only truly mature when you dare to look inward, face, recognize, and embrace that child. You can't just rely on reason or outward roles to avoid inner wounds. If you don't, they will find their own way to speak up through those moments when you suddenly feel disappointed in yourself. Those sleepless nights, even when everything in your life seems fine. Those unexpected tears triggered by someone's careless words. Healing your inner girl doesn't mean you become weak or dependent. It means you dare to acknowledge, embrace, and comfort yourself. Just like how Rose gradually learned to sit with herself, to ask, "What are you sad about today?" Or to allow herself to cry, to let someone care for her without feeling ashamed. When that happens, Rose no longer has to hide her real emotions, nor does she have to force herself to be strong all the time. Try spending a quiet evening, turning off your phone, placing your hand over your heart, and asking, how does the little one inside me feel right now? If you sense anxiety, tell yourself, I'm here now. You are safe. These small gestures, if repeated regularly, will help your feminine side, your softness, gentleness, intuition, and natural creativity gradually return. When your inner girl feels safe, heard, you'll no longer have to brace yourself or react negatively to life's bumps. You'll open your heart more easily, welcome love, and also know how to set boundaries for yourself. Maybe you once thought femininity was some gift from above, or only for those born gentle or delicate. But the truth is, femininity is a natural energy, a gentle stream winding inside every woman. That stream only gets dammed up when your inner girl is forgotten, judged, or forced to become someone else. When you dare to return, to treat yourself gently, to heal, that stream will flow again, and you'll find yourself becoming softer, more gentle, deeper, without even trying. Rose once shared, "Before, I always tried to be the woman who never needed help, but now, I've learned to ask my partner for a hug, to show my vulnerability without blaming myself. Strangely, the more I do this, the stronger and more feminine I feel than ever." Maybe today you're not ready to shed the armor you're wearing. But if you start with just one small thing, listening, not judging yourself, giving a little kindness to the little girl inside, you've already walked half the healing journey. As Carl Jung once said, who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakes. You don't have to become someone else. You only need to return to yourself, to the little girl who has always longed to be loved, accepted, and safe in your own embrace. And that is the true foundation for you to live fully, feminine, gentle, strong, and free from within. Number 2, the inner child wounded, the root of current problems. Carl Jung, the renowned Swiss psychologist, once pointed out that the human mind is like a vast storage house, where every memory, emotion, and experience is kept in the subconscious. Jung explained that childhood experiences, especially wounded or abandoned feelings, never disappear, but quietly hide beneath the surface of consciousness, forming psychological scripts that repeat over and over in adult life. According to Jung, when an emotion is repressed and not brought into consciousness, it does not go away, but will reappear in another form, often in similar situations, in the present. For example, if as a child you experienced shame or rejection or were hurt by your parents, then as an adult, even a small criticism at work can trigger an excessive reaction, anger, sadness, or even tears because the old wound has been reactivated. Jung called this projection. What is unrecognized in the mind will be projected outward, onto others, or new circumstances. Similarly, when you find yourself overly anxious just because your lover hasn't texted you back, or afraid when you feel ignored, in reality, it is the inner child in you, replaying the fear of abandonment from the past. Jung emphasized that the unreconciled parts of the past will continually find ways to speak up, especially through intense emotional reactions that seem unrelated to present reality. Jung also noticed that many adults tend to recount their childhood in a fragmented way, as if talking about a stranger. I was hurt, but now I'm fine. This seemingly rational statement is actually the mind's way of self-protection, locking painful memories in the subconscious. Jung believed that this break, this lack of coherence in one's personal story, signals that there is a part inside, still hurting, still unhealed, so it is forced to hide. But he warned, what is repressed will never simply disappear. It only waits for the opportunity to resurface, especially in everyday moments, in the form of seemingly irrational reactions. At those times, you might often wonder why even a small thing hurts me so deeply, even when I seem fine on the outside. And you will realize, even with external success, you still always carry a vague insecurity inside. Maybe you are like I once was. Every time someone ignored me, when a boss criticized me, or when someone I loved didn't reply to my messages, my heart would ache with an indescribable sadness. I often blamed myself. Why am I so weak? It's just a small thing. But the older I got, the more I understood that sensitivity is not weakness, and even less my current self's fault. It is the voice of my inner child, the part of my soul once hurt, never truly listened to, or protected as a child. That child is still there, sometimes speaking up, especially when I face feelings of abandonment, criticism, or a lack of recognition. Maybe you see yourself in this story. From childhood, many women like us were taught we must be strong, well-behaved, good, to be loved. When you cried out of sadness, maybe your mother or father would snap, "Stop it, you're too old to cry," or simply no one asked how you felt. When you were happy, sad, scared, or hurt, if those emotions weren't cared for, you learned to freeze that part of yourself. And outwardly, the older you got, the more accomplished, independent, and successful you became. But inside, a part of you was never truly healed. Simply put, the inner child is the part of you made up of emotions, needs, and beliefs formed in early childhood. She is the little girl who once wished to be unconditionally loved, needed to be hugged and comforted when hurt, was once full of innocent joy, and was once scared when no one listened. If you were not emotionally safe back then, or lived in an environment of comparisons, criticism, and expectations, that child hid her pain in the subconscious, like a locked room. According to Carl Jung, what is not made conscious, what is not clearly recognized, will repeat itself in outer life as if fate, he said. When an inner situation is not made conscious, it happens outside as fate. Therefore, many repetitive behaviors and emotions in adulthood actually originate from unhealed wounds of the past, not because you suddenly became weak or suddenly became insecure. I used to think I was a strong person. From a young age, I was taught that success meant getting good grades, working hard, being well-behaved, and not bothering anyone. I rarely let my parents see me cry, because every time I showed weakness, my mother would shake her head. "Be strong. Don't cry anymore." I learned to swallow my tears, to please others, to become the perfect girl. But as an adult, especially in close relationships, I became very easily hurt. Just one time, my boyfriend didn't reply to my message immediately. My heart would be gripped by the irrational fear. Maybe he doesn't love me anymore. Every time my boss criticized my work, even kindly, I would feel a sting. Sometimes lose sleep for nights, wondering what I had done wrong. Sometimes I realized I was overreacting to small things, crying, going silent, or lashing out, and then regretting it. I used to blame myself. Why am I strong and proactive in society, but so weak in love? Why am I always afraid of being abandoned, always needing validation, even when no one has hurt me? I didn't know that my inner child, the little girl whose feelings were ignored, who feared abandonment, had never been healed. Every time a familiar situation arose, no matter how minor, that little girl would speak up, making me react as if I were 7 again, not the adult I am now. When you have not healed your inner child, even if you are highly accomplished in society, you will find yourself afraid of being abandoned whenever you love, even if your partner does nothing wrong. A single gentle comment from your boss can leave you sad for a week, lacking motivation for work. Or, in close relationships, you always strive to please others, afraid they will stop loving you if you don't measure up. All these reactions ultimately are not fixed personality traits. or because you are inherently weak, but because your inner child, the one once deeply wounded, has not been healed, not truly embraced or listened to. Carl Jung reminds us, if you do not become aware of what is within, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Repetitive, hurtful relationships, the fear of abandonment, always living to please others, or the subtle anxiety in relationships all have the same root, the wound of the inner child. The solution for you and for me is this. First, we need to recognize and accept the existence of that child. No need to deny, no need to blame, just courageously face the real emotions, joy, sadness, fear, and anxiety alike. You can start by recalling childhood memories. Were there times when your feelings were ignored? No one checked on you when you were sad, or you had to work hard for recognition? Instead of brushing it off, try sitting down and writing a letter to the little girl in you, telling all the feelings you never dared to express as a child. Try placing your hand on your heart, closing your eyes, and whispering, "I'm here with you now. You're not alone anymore." Such small actions will gradually help you reconnect with your deepest self. Second, learn to respond to the present with mindfulness, not letting old wounds automatically control your every action. For example, if a coworker's feedback makes you sad today, instead of blaming yourself or overreacting, ask, is this emotion coming from something in the past? Am I reacting like a little girl who was once criticized, not the adult I am now? When you dare to see the root of your feelings, you regain control over your reactions, no longer pulled back into the past. Third, learn to allow yourself to be imperfect. The inner child once had to be strong and good to be loved, but your current self has the right to be soft, to be vulnerable, and to voice your needs. Don't be afraid to ask someone for a hug or a word of comfort. Don't be afraid to say no to things that don't suit you, just to please someone else. When you know how to say no kindly, you are also teaching that child she is worthy of love and protection. And finally, seek support when needed. Sometimes, the journey of healing cannot be traveled alone. If you find it too hard to face past pain, don't hesitate to seek out a therapist or a support group with similar experiences, just like in this very video. Sharing, listening, and empathy from others will give strength to you and your inner child. If you feel a pain in your chest as you hear these words, I hope you'll share your childhood story in the comments. Because your inner child does not need to be perfect. She only needs to be loved and accepted as a part of you that always exists. After many years struggling with my own anxiety, I realized a simple but profound truth. No one can heal me except myself. No matter how much others love or validate me, if I do not accept and embrace my inner child, every effort is just a thin layer of ice over a deep wound. But when I dare to be gentle with myself, to speak to and soothe myself like a little girl, I find my heart softening, becoming gentler, and more at peace. Carl Jung said, "True maturity is when we dare to return and heal the wounds from within." You don't need to become someone else, don't need to be perfect, or please everyone. You just need to bravely look back at your inner child, embrace every feeling, including weakness, fear, and anxiety, and then gently move on. Then, you'll find yourself more mature, more feminine, and freer than any role you play in society. If you've listened this far, and see yourself in these words, try starting today. Write a letter to your inner child. Spend a minute listening to your true feelings without judgment. Share with a loved one something you've never dared to say. These small actions, repeated over time, will gradually heal every wound. And then you will see, your inner child deserves to be loved, accepted, and to live fully with you in this present moment. You don't need to be strong all the time. Don't need to force yourself to be loved. Your inner child has been waiting for you for a long time. It's time for you to return, embrace her, and continue your own journey gently, softly, more free and whole than ever before. Number 3, buried feminine energy, the forgotten source of strength. Have you ever felt that no matter how hard you try, nothing truly makes you happy? There are days when you look in the mirror and ask yourself, why am I so drained, while everyone around me thinks I'm fine? Maybe you put all your effort into work, taking care of your family, always busy, seen as a strong woman, but deep inside, you feel estranged from yourself, losing the softness, gentleness, and joy that once came so naturally when you were a child. You're not alone. Many women, even those who we think have it all, have experienced this feeling, including Elizabeth Gilbert, the author of Eat, Pray, Love. If you've ever read the book or seen the film adaptation, you'll remember the image of Elizabeth leaving what seemed to be a perfect life. Husband, career, friends, yet inside she felt empty and lost. She had to set out to find herself again, to reclaim the feminine energy that had been buried under the weight of expectations and roles placed on her by society and family. So, what is feminine energy and why is it so easily forgotten? Feminine energy is not just about gentleness or outward expressions like a smile or a soft voice. It's the gentle stream flowing in every woman's soul, the ability to listen to oneself, to be moved by beauty, the capacity to connect, to share, to create, to follow intuition, and to accept. It's the strength to love, to forgive, to be yourself in the most natural way without defenses, without forcing yourself to carry everything. But modern society, especially in America, teaches women from a very young age that if you want respect, if you want to feel safe, you must be strong, rational, independent, even sometimes hiding your true feelings, sacrificing personal desires to fulfill the role of the perfect mother, wife, or colleague. Gradually, we armor ourselves, build up walls of defense, believing that only when we succeed, only when we please others, do we deserve love and safety. Elizabeth Gilbert once described this feeling very honestly. I was always trying to be the woman everyone expected. I forgot what I liked, what I needed, and one day, I realized I no longer recognized myself. Have you ever felt that way? That is the moment when your inner feminine energy is locked away, no longer able to flow out naturally. Carl Jung once analyzed that the feminine, anima, within every woman is a primal essence, full of vitality and creativity. But if, in your childhood, you were judged for showing emotion, don't cry. Girls must be strong. You're only loved when you succeed. Or if you experienced abandonment, betrayal, or hurt in relationships, that feminine part becomes wounded, gradually suppressed. Jung called this process the shadow, the natural parts of yourself rejected by society or by yourself out of fear of being hurt or judged. In those cases, you begin to believe that revealing your vulnerability or true needs is shameful, something to hide. You learn to withdraw, to avoid opening up, or to always maintain a safe distance in all relationships, even with those closest to you. Many women like Elizabeth Gilbert have shared, I only allow myself to have fun or relax once everything else is done. I feel guilty when I do something just for myself. This is a very common sign of wounded feminine energy, not daring to let yourself enjoy, to create, not daring to live true to your deepest emotional needs. In reality, experiences of betrayal, abandonment, or being controlled in the past, perhaps from parents, friends, or early romantic relationships, leave invisible scars on your soul. They form the belief that expressing true emotions is a weakness, and if you let someone see that vulnerable part, you'll be rejected or abandoned. So you put on armor, always cheerful on the outside, always strong, but inside, you become rigid, disconnected from yourself, distrustful of your intuition, even losing touch with your body and natural sensuality. Carl Jung realized that when the feminine side isn't acknowledged, it will find ways to speak up through symptoms. You become easily stressed, have trouble sleeping, feel anxious, or find life shallow, no longer joyful, even after many achievements. In relationships, wounded feminine energy leads to choosing the wrong partners, falling into codependent relationships, or repeatedly experiencing being controlled or hurt without knowing why. Moreover, wounded femininity often shows up as feeling never good enough, a tendency to self-blame, and chronic guilt, even when it's not your fault. Partly this comes from a society that expects women to shoulder the emotional burden of others. If you witnessed your mother or grandmother being treated unfairly, or grew up in an unsafe environment, those wounds can also be inherited, deeply affecting how you live and love today. Another sign is suppressing your creativity, not daring to write, draw, dance, or try new things for fear of being laughed at or not being noticed. When that happens, your most vibrant life energy is blocked, causing you to lose connection with yourself and become swept up in an endless cycle of responsibility, comparison, and judgment. So, how do you reclaim that feminine energy? Carl Jung encouraged us to start by recognizing and accepting the existence of our feminine side, both strong and vulnerable, both creative and easily wounded. First, allow yourself to be honest with your feelings. Just as Elizabeth Gilbert did on her journey, take time to listen to yourself. How do you feel when you do something only for yourself, serving no one else? Do you let yourself rest and enjoy without self-blame? When you have the urge to express yourself, do you speak up or always suppress it? You can start with small steps. Allow yourself to rest during a busy workday. Treat yourself to a little gift. Try creating something just for the sake of joy. Don't rush to feel guilty. Remind yourself, I deserve to be loved, cared for, to be myself, without having to prove anything. Second, learn to build healthy boundaries. When you dare to say no to what you don't want, when you dare to show true feelings, you are gradually healing your feminine wounds, reclaiming control for yourself, instead of giving it away to others or society. Remind yourself whenever you hesitate to refuse or feel guilty for living for yourself. My needs and feelings matter, and I have the right to protect them. Third, practice reconnecting with your body and intuition. Carl Jung emphasized that the anima, the primal feminine, is often expressed through emotion, intuition, creativity, and bodily sensations. Try activities that deepen that connection: yoga, meditation, dance, journaling, or simply sitting quietly and feeling each breath, each sensation inside. You'll notice that suppressed emotions gradually melt away. Vibrant energy awakens within, guiding you back to yourself. Finally, don't hesitate to seek support. You can share with a close friend or seek out a therapist if you feel stuck for too long. The journey to heal and liberate your feminine energy is a journey home. There's no need to rush, and there's no right or wrong. As Elizabeth Gilbert once said, we just need to listen to ourselves, forgive the past, and dare to live the fullest life possible. Feminine energy, softness, gentleness, creativity, the ability to love and connect is always there, even when you feel you've lost it. Carl Jung reminds us, what is rejected does not disappear. It only finds another way to speak. If your life feels dried up, if your relationships keep repeating painful patterns, try returning to yourself. Listen, accept, and start caring for yourself from the smallest things. You don't have to please everyone. You don't have to force yourself to become someone else. Your true strength comes from daring to live in tune with your primal, feminine, gentle, yet resilient, creative, yet grounded. When you heal your inner girl, that energy will naturally rise, helping you not only be happy, but also spread peace and love to those around you. You deserve to return to yourself, to live fully and freely with all the softness, creativity, and femininity that is the natural source of strength within you. Before moving on to the next part, we want to take a special moment to thank you, the one who has patiently listened and accompanied us on this journey. Every minute you spend pausing and reflecting on these inner values is a precious gift that we cherish every second. Perhaps, in these last few moments, you've recognized a part of yourself, a feeling once forgotten, or simply gained a little more self-understanding. These are the small but important steps for your feminine energy to be revived. We hope that everything here is not just words, but a catalyst for you to love and be gentle with yourself and with all the women around you. If these messages resonate with you, please like and share this video. Each share can be a bridge, a silent encouragement to someone out there to realize they're not alone and that they too can begin their journey of healing and returning to themselves, just as Carl Jung believed in the power of awareness and love to spread. And you know, every time you click share, you're not just spreading this message, but also giving real hope to someone in need of being heard, someone needing to reconnect with themselves. We are truly grateful for every share, every small sign of your companionship. Now, let's move together to the next part, where new signs and practical suggestions will continue to open up, going even deeper into your journey of returning to the source of strength within you. Number 4. The parts of yourself you don't dare to accept, the shadow, and how embracing them lets your femininity bloom. Have you ever looked in the mirror and, for a moment, asked yourself, who am I, really? There are days when you crave love and care, but you act distant and cold. There are moments when you suddenly feel jealous of someone else's happiness, then immediately scold yourself, I'm so petty, I should be happy for them. Or sometimes, you suddenly feel angry, anxious, or even just want to be pampered and cared for, but you tell yourself, I have to be strong, I have to be good, I can't be weak like that. That's when your shadow is speaking up. Carl Jung called the shadow those parts of ourselves that we don't dare admit, don't want to look at directly, or that society, family, and even ourselves taught us to deny from a young age. It could be anger, jealousy, selfishness, fear of abandonment, a craving for attention, a need to be spoiled, or personal desires. The shadow isn't necessarily bad, it's just needs and feelings that were once not listened to. So they had to hide in the dark, only showing up in indirect ways, sometimes making you ashamed or feel not good. When you're jealous of someone else being loved deep inside, it's really a longing to be loved that way too. When you get angry for no apparent reason, it's really because you've held it in too many times, swallowed your anger for too long without ever saying it. When you cling to someone, or always need someone nearby, it's actually because you're afraid of being left, afraid of being alone, afraid you're not enough. Most women grow up being taught to be good girls, always cheerful, always well-behaved, always hiding away the parts that don't fit society's perfect image, even gradually convincing themselves, that's not who I am. But the more you reject and suppress, the stronger the shadow becomes, showing up in subtle ways, self-blame, guilt, stifled creativity, disconnect from body and feelings, or even ending up in toxic relationship patterns you don't understand. Carl Jung once said, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." You can't become whole just by imagining good things. You must bravely recognize the darkness, the parts inside you that are rejected or avoided. In essence, that darkness is made up of pieces of your soul that have been hidden away. Maybe the shame of doing something not proper, the feeling of being praised for giving, but secretly longing to be acknowledged, or those moments when you get angry but then quickly suppress and deny your own feelings. Maybe you've devoted yourself to volunteering, always helping others, and society praises that as good. But deep down, maybe you also feel a bit superior, or hope for some recognition and appreciation. And then, you scold yourself for that feeling. Even when you become the understanding, caring one, you might unconsciously enjoy the gentle power it gives you over those around you. The shadow isn't just bad by society's definition. It's also the subtle, two-sided aspects of the very goodness you strive to cultivate. The work of facing the shadow requires real courage, not just because those parts make you feel ashamed, but because, from childhood, we were taught about right and wrong, good and bad, as opposite sides. Everyone was once a good girl, rewarded for being good, punished for doing wrong. And so, you learn to suppress and freeze your natural, instinctive parts, just to keep up a good image with others and with yourself. But the problem is, the idea of bad and good is never absolute. Right and wrong are always influenced by culture, environment, education, experience, and even psychological cycles. Karma, habits inherited from mothers, grandmothers, and the whole family line. Direct wounds, indirect trauma, even stories of religious life or societal ideals, all form invisible boundaries that make you afraid to admit the non-conforming parts. Maybe you were taught anger is bad, jealousy is selfish, weakness is shameful, but really, those feelings are just signals telling you some need inside hasn't been heard. When you're jealous, it's a need for love. When you're angry, it's a need for respect and for boundaries to be protected. When you cling, it's a longing for safety and recognition. And if you keep trying to eliminate or suppress these parts, they will only grow stronger, quietly controlling you. So what's the solution? What does it mean to integrate the shadow, according to Jung? It's not, don't be jealous anymore, don't be weak anymore, or don't be selfish anymore. But learning to look directly, name it, understand the real need underneath, and then choose a more mature way to respond. It's a challenging process, because Jung also emphasized, there is no coming to consciousness without pain. No one matures without pain, and no one can awaken without daring to face the dark parts of themselves. Start by looking honestly at your true feelings. Instead of blaming yourself for being jealous, ask, is it because I long to be noticed, to be loved? When you're angry, don't force yourself to hold it in. Ask, what have I been suppressing? What have I not said for so long? When you feel selfish, wishing to be pampered, ask, how much have I given? And don't I deserve to receive too? Next, name your feelings. Instead of saying, I'm so terrible, try saying, I'm feeling jealous. I want to be loved like that. Instead of, I'm so selfish, say, I also have a need to be cared for. When you dare to name your shadow, you're already halfway to integrating it. The next step is understanding the deeper need. Behind every feeling is an unmet need. Safety, love, recognition, to be yourself. When you see it, you can fulfill that need maturely. Instead of being jealous, you can express a wish for attention. Instead of lashing out, you learn to set healthy boundaries. Say no when needed. Instead of clinging, you learn to hold yourself, to create safety from within. The process of integrating the shadow not only makes you stronger, but allows your femininity to bloom. You'll be softer, more compassionate with yourself and others, able to live truly, to be vulnerable when needed, to create, to love without fear of getting hurt. Here, I want to touch on the element of God, not in a theological sense, but as a feeling of unconditional acceptance, of a source of love. When you return, facing your shadow, you're truly living fully, just like standing before God, shedding every mask, every disguise, to be loved in the truest sense. God doesn't require you to be perfect, but wants you to be honest, to live true to all you are, both your light and your shadow. Real healing comes when you can say to yourself, I am worthy of love, even though I'm not perfect. As Jung once reminded us, who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes. Only when you dare to look within do you truly awaken from the dreams of a perfect self, realizing you are complete with both your light and your darkness. Darkness doesn't make you bad, it just makes you more human, deeper, more real, and able to touch true happiness. When you dare to embrace your shadow, accept that you are not perfect, you'll see your femininity bloom, gentle yet grounded, creative yet genuine, able to love, to give, and to receive without fear of judgment. This journey may be painful, may overwhelm you, but it is the only way to truly return to yourself, to be accepted wholly by God and by yourself. There is nothing shameful in admitting you've been jealous, afraid, or selfish. That's what makes you human, makes you able to understand, empathize, and be more compassionate with others. Take just a minute today to listen to your shadow. Place your hand on your heart and whisper, you don't need to be perfect to be worthy of love from God, from others, and most importantly, from yourself. And what about you? How many times have you quietly withdrawn, shrank back, or blamed yourself simply because your real feelings didn't match others' expectations? Sometimes, an unkept promise, a missed opportunity for someone to really listen to you, means you had to be strong on your own, and perhaps, somewhere deep down, you've also wondered, am I just too weak, or do I simply need to be accepted as I truly am? Your story, your stumbles, the times you bravely faced, your shadow holds tremendous meaning. Because maybe your experience will inspire and help someone out there feel less alone, less not good enough, and give them more courage to embrace themselves. If you've ever tried methods of recognizing and healing your shadow, even a small step like listening to your feelings, daring to speak your truth, or simply letting yourself be sad, jealous, or scared, please share it in the comments. The method you choose, the way you persist, might be the guiding light for other souls, still confused or hesitant on their own journey. Don't hesitate to tell your story. Who knows, maybe just one sincere story is enough to spark hope and give more strength for our whole community to grow and heal together. We look forward to reading, feeling, and learning from you and with you, spreading gentle understanding and acceptance to so many more. Number 5, returning to yourself through the process of individuation, the journey to becoming whole. Have you ever met someone who has truly discovered their authentic self? A person who doesn't need to be loud, nor stand out in a crowd, yet radiates a quiet confidence, a steadfast belief in the path they have chosen, regardless of outside opinions or judgments. Carl Jung called this blossoming the process of individuation, the journey by which both personal and collective unconscious are brought into the light, allowing one's true personality to be revealed and developed. In short, it is the process of self-realization, living the truest and fullest life possible as yourself. How many of us can honestly say we are living so fully and truthfully? In the rhythm of modern life, many people, especially women, seem to always be playing roles to please others: parents, friends, lovers, teachers, bosses, even strangers on social media. It's not hard to find stories like a girl who loves painting but studies economics to please her parents, or a woman who always has to appear gentle and happy, even as storms of true feeling churn inside. Ironically, the more we try to suppress our inner voice, the more we ignore what our intuition tells us is right, the farther we drift from our real self, losing our creative energy and the ability to live a fulfilled, happy life. I once had a cousin, let's call her Oliva, who was a living example of this story. Since childhood, Oliva loved dancing and dreamed of becoming a dance teacher for children. But her family had a clear direction. Girls must study economics, so they'll have stability, so they can hold their heads high. Not wanting to disappoint her parents, Oliva set aside her passion, entered a field she didn't like, and became an office worker with a steady, proper but colorless and uninspired life. Everyone praised her. Oliva is good. Oliva is smart. But I, her closest confidant, could see all her weariness, her vague sadness, and the emptiness in her eyes every evening after work. Many years later, when Oliva's daughter began taking dance classes at the community center, Oliva finally dared to return to the dance studio, this time as a student, not a teacher. When I asked her, she just smiled and said, "Now, I finally dare to do what I truly love, even if it's late." Watching Oliva dance on stage at the end of year recital, I had never seen her so radiant, so full of energy. That was the first time I truly saw her not playing any role, but as Oliva herself, shining, free, and vibrant. The question is, how do you return to yourself to become whole rather than perfect? Carl Jung never thought the goal of life was to become someone flawless or without blemish. On the contrary, he emphasized, the goal of life is to become whole, meaning to harmonize reason and feeling, to embrace both your strength and your vulnerability, your maturity and your inner child, your light and your shadow, and to live honestly and deeply with all that you are. The process of individuation, according to Jung, is the journey of bringing those hidden parts of your unconscious into the light of awareness, recognizing and accepting them, and in doing so, becoming a whole person no longer dependent on outside judgments, no longer chasing after roles drawn by family or society. This is a continuous and challenging process. It demands that each person dare to return and face old wounds, recognize limiting beliefs, and integrate even the shadow into themselves. Perhaps you've thought, if I'm positive, successful, and have no scars, then I'll be loved and recognized. But Jung pointed out, only when we are brave enough to face the fears, sadness, and not good enough feelings that were once rejected, will we gradually feel free. Then, we stop depending on external validation. We know how to love ourselves, accept ourselves, and comfort ourselves when we feel low. Do you see yourself in these things? Have you ever tried to act happy when you weren't, pretended to agree though you felt resentful inside, tried to please everyone just to avoid being abandoned or judged? Have you ever been afraid to say no to what you don't like? Afraid to speak your true feelings? Afraid to live your dream because you fear failure? Fear being different? Fear disappointing someone? All of these are part of your shadow parts that were once forced to hide, but still quietly drive your actions, choices, and even your joy in life. Carl Jung emphasized, there is no true maturity without integrating both the light and the shadow within ourselves. Looking back, you may see the shadow appearing in many areas: fear of failure, jealousy, envy, anger, sadness, weakness, the need for love, recognition, and care. Our instinct is to suppress or deny these imperfect feelings. But the more we reject them, the more they grow, the more they control our lives, sometimes in subtle, roundabout ways. Vulnerability, difficulty setting boundaries, repeating unhealthy relationships, or living a superficial life. Fine, but not happy. Jung believed the journey back to yourself begins with awareness. You must be honest with yourself, revisit old wounds, dare to name the pain, the fear, and the dreams that were once buried. Ask yourself, am I living for me or for someone else? What do I really like, need, and dream of? Is there something in me I always avoid, am always ashamed of, never dare to admit? Next comes acceptance. That is, daring to embrace both strength and vulnerability, both success and failure, both laughter and tears. Daring to say to yourself, I'm allowed to be wrong, to be weak, to start over. This acceptance does not make you weak. It is the foundation of strength and inner freedom. This process will gradually help you stop acting, stop depending on praise or criticism, and stop feeling guilty for being true to yourself. Just like my cousin Oliva, who once forgot herself to please her parents and society, but ultimately found herself living most vibrantly when she did what she loved, even if it was late. A practical solution for the journey back to yourself, according to Jung, comes through 6 steps. Step 1 is accepting imperfection. Don't demand that you must be perfect, happy at all times, strong all your life. You are allowed to be weak, to fail, to ask questions, and to seek your own answers. Step 2, you choose to listen to your intuition and true needs. Each day, set aside a few quiet minutes to ask yourself, what do I really feel, want? Write these things down, even the smallest. This listening reconnects you to your primal feminine part, intuition, creativity, feelings, which are your natural strength. Next, you need to practice speaking your true feelings and setting boundaries. If you don't like something, dare to say no. If you're sad, admit it and comfort yourself. Don't force yourself to play the perfect role. The truer you live, the lighter, freer, and more at ease you'll feel. Don't forget to integrate the shadow. When you notice an unpleasant emotion, jealousy, anger, fear, don't judge it. Don't try to banish it. Ask, where is this feeling coming from? What do I need? Desire. Daring to face, name, and understand those imperfect parts is how you heal your inner child and let full life energy return. You can also seek and connect with a supportive community. The journey back to yourself cannot be walked alone. Find a group of friends, a community, like right here on our YouTube channel, where you can connect with many people with shared experiences. Sharing and listening to similar stories will give you more strength and empathy for your journey. Finally, be patient with yourself. Individuation is a lifelong journey. No one wakes up enlightened overnight. Cherish every small change, every feeling you recognize, every step closer to yourself. Go slow but deep, and you will see yourself living more truly, gently, and happily each day. Individuation doesn't turn you into the best version, as social media claims. It only helps you become yourself, whole with every part, light and dark, reason and feeling, adult and child, success and failure. Like my cousin, only when she dared drop the act and live honestly did she find joy, confidence, and true faith in her path, regardless of anyone's gaze. Jung once wrote, "Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakes. Only by daring to return inside, daring to face all parts of yourself, do you truly awaken and live a fulfilled, happy, free, and peaceful life from within." If today you still feel lost, start with one small question. Who am I really, and what would make me happy? Give yourself time, gentleness, and courage to answer. The journey back to yourself is the greatest gift you can give yourself, not to be perfect, but to truly live, truly feel, truly love. Perhaps throughout this journey, you have seen yourself somewhere in these words, these thoughts, these moments of confusion between reason and feeling. Sometimes, just one small sharing is enough to soothe the heart, enough to help us realize we are not alone in this vast world. If you have ever gone through similar situations, ever faced fragile emotions, step by step, returning to yourself, whether in fear, in joy, or simply in a moment when you realized you too deserve love. Take a few minutes to share your story in the comments. Who knows, maybe your words will be encouragement, inspiration, the invisible hand holding someone else out there, someone also searching for healing and wholeness like you. We always hope this space will be a safe and warm place for every soul to be heard and respected. Every story, every line you share is a precious piece, helping the community become closer, more authentic, and more healed. Don't hesitate, just be yourself as you are on your journey and share your real experiences below. We are very much looking forward to hearing from you. Number 6. The simplest and most effective steps and exercises for healing, bringing Carl Jung's philosophy into real life. Have you ever read about concepts like healing your inner child, returning to your natural femininity, felt that it all sounded profound, but then wondered, how do I actually start? What do I need to do to turn that theory into something alive in my daily life? I used to feel that way reading books, listening to talks, feeling very awakened, really wanting to change. But when returning to real life, work, family, the busy rhythm of daily life, I didn't know where to begin. Perhaps you have felt the same, wishing to be healed, wanting to return to yourself, wanting to become gentler and freer. But among all the theories and advice, what is always missing is a concrete path, clear steps. Carl Jung emphasized, no one awakens just by reading about light. The process of growth and becoming whole can only begin from very real, very small, daily actions. Healing is a journey, not a miraculous destination. It is you constantly choosing to stay with yourself, to listen to your feelings, to face what has been wounded, and to give yourself the tenderness you once yearned for as a child. If you want to begin, try going through the practical steps below one at a time, with no pressure to be perfect, no need to rush, just with sincerity. Number 1. Identify your inner child. Have you ever looked back at your old childhood photos and wondered, what did that little girl, that little boy wish for? What made them happiest, saddest? The inner child within each of us, that part of the soul that was once innocent, once vulnerable, once easily hurt, is always there, waiting to be heard. One of the most important exercises I ever did was to sit down, pick a childhood photo of myself, look long into those eyes, and write a letter to that little one. Write out all the things you once wished to hear. You've done so well. You deserve to be loved. It's okay to be sad, to be afraid. I'm here now. When you do this, you're not only reconnecting with your innocence, but gradually restoring your sense of self-worth, something you may have lost in childhood. Try spending a quiet evening or short moments each day to return to the child within you. Place your hand on the photo, close your eyes, name the feeling, and allow all memories to come back without judgment. Sometimes, just being acknowledged, that child already begins to heal. Number 2, listen to your real needs. In the busy world, we often forget the simple question, what do I actually need right now? Not what I should do, not what others want, but what do I right now need? Create for yourself a small habit. Every morning, when you wake up or before you sleep, put your hand on your heart, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, is there something I need? What am I feeling? Sometimes it's the need for rest, for love, for quiet, or simply to have fun. Write those feelings down or whisper them to yourself. This small act will help you return to listening to your inner voice, the thing that natural femininity always knows, but we gradually forget. You don't have to fulfill every need immediately, but just being acknowledged, being named, is already an important step. Jung said, when an inner situation is not made conscious, it appears outside as fate. If you don't listen to your real needs, they will find a way to speak out through anger, restlessness, loneliness, or a lack of direction. Number 3, be your own mother. I used to ask myself, if I were my own mother, how would I treat myself when I cried, made mistakes, or was afraid? Wouldn't you hold your child, comfort them? It's okay, I'm here. But with ourselves, we often criticize, push, be strong. Why are you like this? The next exercise is to change how you talk to yourself. When you make a mistake, when you feel down, try to be gentler, more soothing, and forgive yourself as you would a child. If you lose your temper Remind yourself, it's okay. Everyone gets tired sometimes. If you feel not good enough, remember, you deserve to be loved, even if you're not perfect. This practice is not only healing, but also how you rebuild your self-confidence and inner love, the gentle yet enduring strength of feminine energy. Number 4, honor your feminine energy. Feminine energy does not come from doing a lot, achieving, or forcing yourself to be strong. It comes from being yourself, allowing yourself to live fully in simple joys, creativity, the ability to be moved, knowing how to rest, how to care for, and appreciate your own body. Make time for activities just for joy, not to be useful. Painting, dancing, playing music, cooking for fun, trying on clothes you love, watching the clouds, spending an evening in the bath with candles and soft music. Don't blame yourself if you feel these things are useless. These are the very moments that make you more alive, gentler, and that is when your natural femininity begins to blossom again. Number 5, heal the wound of rejection. Everyone has memories of being criticized, rejected, compared, making you believe, I'm not good enough. I only have value if I please others. Take time to look back at those memories, face the pain, anger, and insecurity you once tried to hide. This exercise isn't easy, but it's very necessary. Write your own story. Recall each time you were rejected, criticized, then write, but I understand. My value does not come from anyone's praise or blame. I deserve to be loved, even when I'm not perfect. Give yourself what no one did for you before. Self-acknowledgement, unconditional love. Number 6, reconnect with innocence. Remember the things you loved as a child. Skipping rope, drawing, singing, imagining yourself as a fairy tale character. Don't think, I'm too old for this. These activities help you unleash your most vibrant, innocent energy, the creative, joyful, spontaneous feminine part of yourself. Invite your child, niece, or friends to play with you, or do something childish you used to forget. Don't be surprised if you find yourself laughing out loud, shedding tears, or your heart softening. These are signs your innocence is coming alive and healing. Number 7, dare to be yourself. You may notice that you have shrunk back in many situations, not daring to voice your opinion, not daring to wear what you like, not daring to try new things for fear of what others think. Practice noticing these moments and try to step outside your comfort zone. Say what you really think, try a new style, dare to share your true feelings with someone, or simply allow yourself to enjoy. Each time you dare to be more yourself, this process doesn't have to be grand, just small steps. Every time you dare to be real, to say no, to say yes, to be happy, sad, to fail without fear. Number 8, practice guilt-free joy. Many women are taught that only after working hard, fulfilling their duties, do they deserve to rest, to be happy. In reality, you deserve to be happy, to rest, to enjoy simply because you are you, no conditions attached. Allow yourself to eat something delicious just because you like it. Rest without guilt. Watch a favorite movie. Spend time for yourself. Go for a walk, go to the spa, or just sit quietly doing nothing. Every time you allow yourself to enjoy joy without blaming yourself, without bargaining with yourself, is another moment you heal your wound around value and love. Number 9, build confidence from within. Whenever you feel afraid, lacking in confidence, remind yourself as a loving mother would, you did well. You don't have to be perfect to deserve love. You can write this on paper, stick it on your mirror, remind yourself every morning, or whisper it whenever you feel weak. When you repeat this enough, your heart will begin to believe it, gradually becoming steadier, more confident from within, without needing others' praise or validation. You must remember, healing is not a race. There will be days you feel you've made progress, days you feel tired, maybe even want to give up. Be patient with yourself. Cherish every small step, every moment you dare to be honest, dare to be gentle, dare to be vulnerable and real. This journey can be walked alone, but it will be easier and more meaningful if you find a companion, a friend, a support group, or a therapist. Connection and sharing will help you not feel alone and will give you extra motivation whenever you stumble. Jung once said, "Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes." Every small action, every choice to stay with yourself, to listen to your inner child, is a step toward awakening a gift you give yourself, to become a little freer, more alive, gentler, and filled with love each day. You don't need to become anyone else. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be worthy to be healed. You only need to bravely begin from the smallest things, repeated every day, with all the tenderness you deserve. If you've ever struggled between theory and practice, remember, every small step you take today, writing a letter to your inner child, placing your hand on your heart to listen to your feelings, hugging yourself, daring to enjoy joy, daring to be yourself, are all precious steps on your journey back to your most natural, free, and whole feminine essence. This journey is yours alone, and you always have the right to renew, to redo, to begin again at any time. Go slowly and deeply. You deserve to be loved, to be happy, and to be truly yourself every single day. Perhaps each of us has once believed that we would always be able to control our emotions, strong enough to hide every insecurity and rise above all the expectations around us. But in reality, everyone carries within themselves small wounds, those times when we were not heard, the feeling of not being good enough, or the fear of being abandoned or rejected. Those emotions, whether forgotten or deliberately hidden, still quietly guide us, often more powerfully than reason. Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." Perhaps the journey of healing is not a race to become perfect, but a return to embrace our weaknesses, our gentleness, creativity, and even the wounds we once feared. If in each sign, each lesson you have just listened to, you see a part of yourself, please remember, you are not alone. You are simply on the path to becoming a more complete, free, and truly happy version of yourself. If you find this content helpful, please subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you won't miss the upcoming videos on the journey of healing and personal growth. Every subscription, every step you take with us is a valuable source of motivation for us to continue spreading the most positive and practical messages to the community. Thank you for staying, listening, sharing, and growing together with us. See you again in the next videos.